Hello and welcome everybody. We are here, as I muted myself, genius, to the wet qualifying session of the NA tier in Silverstone today. My name is Invalid. I'm today joined by a good friend of mine, Katashi.
Hello, yeah, and welcome. I don't know if you guys know it, but usually I was a trial for the no assist tier, but I gave up my seat. I don't have the time for tier 2 and no assist. And yeah, we're here at Silverstone now, the second race, as we race only every 2 weeks. And as you can see, it's raining. Seems like a light rain. Everyone's on the inters. I can see some patches of clear sky. But I don't think we will have a try track to the end of qualifying. It will be interesting if we will have a try or a wet race.
Yeah. So let's see. So far, a few people have left the garage. So as we have a wet qualifying, we probably can ignore the fact of track evolution. It's probably not that big of a deal. So
if it stops raining,
yeah,
10 minutes left, then the
yes.
inters will be faster, but then it's a question, will be try enough to get on the soft tire, but I don't think so.
Yeah, but if it keeps raining, there was a promise, then we can expect just inters all the way, and at that point there's no real track evolution, so that actually makes qualifying interesting from the get-go. So with the NA tier, if you guys are not familiar, the rules are basically you have no assist, you have no traction control, no ABS, no line, nothing. Everything that is allowed is automatic gearbox for the guys on the pad, if I recall correctly.
And yes, I think.
Yeah, of course, manual ERS mentioned. And automatic ERS.
Are you
I
sure
think
we are live?
we should be. Yeah.
I can't find the stream on YouTube because I want to see the chat.
Okay. Well, last time I checked, we were live. So if anybody is watching, please leave a comment in the live stream chat. I can see that. So.
Can you DM me in Discord maybe the stream?
I'd love to not tab out. So, but if we don't if I don't get a
oh no, mind, I can see the podcast now.
Okay, fantastic. Yeah, podcast as last week in the tier 2 race. Let's go.
On Twitch though.
Yeah, Twitch
so
is
on the bot only posted the Twitch stream, not the YouTube.
Okay. Yeah, whatever.
Okay, whatever. You got a chat open, just keep my eye on it maybe.
Yeah, sure. I'm on chat.
As I'm too dumb to find the stream on my phone.
Yeah.
So the lap times we can. I mean, usually I think it was 128, 129 if you're fast here.
In the dry.
Yeah. So we should be in about a 36, 7.
You think?
Maybe 5 if someone can get a very good lap.
I think we'll see a lot less.
What do you predict? I'm not too sure. I'm just guessing.
I think it is at least a 40, probably 45. Like pole positions, maybe in the very high 30s, but I don't think so. But as we see Huani now coming into the last chicane. And then we have, actually you're probably closer to the approximation, as we have Toto in the 139s already. And Huani finishing...
at the 397.
Actually,
velocity through the S's now, taking a bit wider line. Doesn't use the curb too much. You don't want that. You can get into a spin very fast and destroy your whole tires and the lap also. Taking it only in half throttle, 4th gear. Stays in 6th gear. carefully braking there, staying in second gear to get more traction and less tire spin since you don't have so much tire spin in the high gears. Now flat out over the line, and it's a 141.6.
Yeah, meanwhile, Danico put it on provisional podium with a 138.4. Pretty good time by him. Pretorius in a 139.5 in the P3. Killaby with a 140 dead in the P5. Furious 140.1 P6. Velocity, as we have already referred to, and then behind him, Dunks Gaming, Deezen, and Hardcore. So,
I wonder if people opt for just like one lap, maybe two. You can do two even with the ERS. It's no issue in the wet since you use a little bit less. Or if there are a few people like me that opt for 3 or even 4 laps that you do, because I don't know if it's my driving style, but in my opinion, the Inters get more grip for me at least when I have like 5-6% wear on them. I did 2 laps on them. Even if the tire temps in the first and the third or fourth lap is the same.
yeah, maybe. I don't know. So,
Could be track evolution too. Like, I mean, the line will be drier after a few cars did some laps, like we
yeah,
see
but
now.
if I recall correctly, that you also reported that behavior later in the qualifying, so yeah, that really depends. Well, as we're watching Jim actually going for a proper hot lap, his first time was close to 2 minutes. That's probably not what he is capable of. So let's see how far he can improve. But when he meanwhile improved to 138.6, that gave him P2. So yeah, you're probably about right with the 138 or 136 or whatever you said.
Yeah, I said
Okay.
137, 8, and maybe a 36 or 35 depending on the conditions. It seems that the sky seems to be clearing up a little bit. It doesn't seem to rain that much as in the beginning. There are still a few patches where it's still raining pretty hard. But watching at Furious right now, in Sector 1, there's no rain at all.
Yeah, true.
Yeah,
It might actually dry up.
Yeah, it's actually stopped raining 10 minutes in.
You got it.
As I predicted it.
Well, Vexit has lost it on his hot lap. I don't know what happened to him. He also probably invalidated his first run or something. He got a bit of wing damage, and he will actually pit as Ingenio also.
Ooh, Danny. I'm sorry, I just watched Danny. Big log up from him.
Okay.
It looked like he was on a pretty fast lap. Well, and having a moment there, and just 3/10 up. I'm pretty sure he had about 6 or 7/10. Wasn't a 37th for sure. So the track is drying up. The question is now, how many people would just wait in the box? If no one is driving on the track won't dry up much more.
True.
So I guess we will see some people that will stay out for now, maybe 1 or 2 more laps, and then some guys waiting for 4 or 3 minutes to get in 1 or 2 laps on the soft tire.
Yeah, I think if you're on the inters at the moment and your car is fine, you should probably go for another run and go for another cooldown lap, and then you can probably try to go in and then evaluate if you want to go for soft or for mediums. And for the ones that are in the box at the moment and have a time, like a decent time in, like Gwenny, this might be an option to put
Furious is 7/10 up after Sector 1.
Okay, great. So track evolution is actually pretty
high.
Yeah, exactly.
He's still on the enters.
Yeah, sure. So
I was thinking about it that he's in 0 ES.
Okay.
Maybe
yeah,
Invalid. Oh, Max Splits and Vex, the first guys on. No, actually not on the soft tire. They just selected. Yeah, they have selected it.
Winnie as well.
Winnie too, yeah.
But he swapped back, yeah.
Patriots just came out with Inters. Killer B is coming in now. I guess he will change to the soft tire now too. But who's the first guy to test? Oh, Max is actually the first guy to test it out. How the soft tire will be now on this track. As he exits the pit now, so we should keep an eye on him.
Yeah. Oh, and he already loses it at the pit exit. So you guys have to keep in mind, this is no assist. These tires in these conditions will be incredibly hard to manage.
At least at the beginning, until you get the heat up, and until you're on the... It doesn't seem that... It seems to be a little bit too early. Yeah, now he has to make room. He won't get the heat up. Oh, there's still a lot of... Look at that rain that is coming on the water drops that are coming off on the front tires.
Yeah,
it's actually a nice detail that you can see that.
Yeah. It is too wet at the moment, but it is a good timing to evaluate if you want to finish on softs or not. But in staying away from the racing line doesn't really help.
Yeah, and I mean, there's still a long straight where you can heat up your tires. Will be interesting to see what he wants to do. He has now about a 5-second lead to the McLaren. Mercedes is coming then again. He wants to heat them tires up.
Yeah, he's trying, but I don't know why he keeps leaving the racing line and going to the wet patch.
He kinda tried, I guess, how much grip there is.
Yeah, maybe.
It's only that we are ignoring basically everyone else on our lap at the moment, but
it doesn't
no,
really
it's still too wet. It's still too wet. There's no way he can do a lap on them.
Yeah, but thing is,
his
like,
tires are probably cold too at 80 degrees or even 75 or something.
Yeah,
he's just going way too slow.
Yeah. He's going way too slow, but it's more like an evaluation lap for him, I guess. Less than a proper out lap to heat up the tires, to see how the grip is. But yeah, I think it is.
Wait. He went to hot lap. He might actually try to go for a hot lap.
Yeah, I think why not? You have nothing to lose. You want? I would try it as well. Like, if he goes for a hot lap now and takes about 2 minutes, and he has about the time to come in and change tires again.
Yeah.
So that is the perfect timing for him. But yeah, he takes a big risk in going off the track already.
That's too wet. All right. Let's see. Who's on a good lap? Vexit still didn't put a time in. He's currently on a out lap actually.
True. On Inters. So.
But yeah, just look at the water drops and all the water spray that's coming off the tires.
Yeah,
and he's on the racing
what about in 4 minutes? Like, if you nail the timing and you nail the hot lap, I think you can get pole position.
I mean, the top 4 guys, top 5, are in a pretty good position right now. At least the top 3.
Yeah, but...
They are pretty close to each other, and they can just say, okay, I got now on the first row or second row, I can try now the soft tire. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work, but there's nothing to lose.
Well, there's actually quite a bit to lose, because the Inters also improved with the track evolution we saw. So
yeah, that's not the question. What are the people doing?
Not safe at all.
Who's gonna take a gamble on a soft tire, and who's gonna stay on the inner tire and try another lap on that?
Ooh, and Vexit again aboards his lap. I'm not sure what his plans are, but he's now limiting himself to
he wasn't even in high ES. He wasn't 0 ES all the time.
Yeah, but like you can turn up the ES pretty late because of the chicane. Like you can turn it basically when you pass the pit and start to brake. That's the point where you
can. Jim Wong? Medium tire? Come on,
I think that's just retarded.
No, he won't go out on the medium, come on.
That is just suicide at this point. Like, if the softs won't grip, the mediums won't grip at all.
Maybe he selected the wrong tire. Let's see if he notices it, or if it's actually some plan he has. As Toto
Oh, there's
starts his hot
DRS.
lap now. So DRS is activated. I'm gonna watch Toto right now. So he's losing, he's struggling a bit.
Yeah, so... And he actually retires.
And he retires.
So
Yeah, there's no time. There was no time left for him to get into the pits and do an outlap. There was no time left.
True,
okay, so
but
actually,
why not try another hot lap on the Inters? I don't know.
he just lost it completely. There was no point. I think we got to the crossover where the soft is actually the faster tire.
Yeah.
As we can hear the engines. Let's see who's coming out now. Kitavi, actually onto Inters again. So
risky.
he thinks it's still too early. Gary
has left the session. That is rough. Oh, Denico is out on the Inters. So he's going for the safe bet, but might also be a big risk.
Man, what's his name? It's too long. Hard? I just can't read hard.
Hardcore.
Hardcore. Alright, so Hardcore seems to be the first one with the soft tire, as Hoopy is having a little drift there on the soft tire. Oh, that's very interesting, to be honest. Like, I can't tell if the Inter or the soft is right now the faster tire. Everyone seems to struggle. It doesn't matter on which tire they are.
I think it is about which tire you can manage which tire gives you the most confidence. In which tire you're most confident. God damn it. To control the car and to actually keep it on track and actually move fast, because you can have the best tires if you lose it in turn 1 and crash into the wall. That doesn't help you. So it's all about confidence at this point, and well, the softs might be the better option, but I think they're the bigger gamble at this point because they are so hard to control in the mixed conditions, especially without assists. So just very experienced no assist drivers like Vexit and
so if I'm not mistaken, Danny is the first one, now the last one to be the guy on the Inter tire, so he will be our benchmark to Hoopy, who should be the first guy starting his hot lap on the soft tire.
You mean Hueni? Or Hoopy?
No, Hoopy.
Okay, yeah, so Hoopy should be quite a bit slower in same condition, in conditions. So
watch Hoopy. I'm gonna tell you the sector times of Danny, as he is still struggling a lot. The wear just wants to go off.
Okay.
His first sector time is a 31.151 as he goes straight into the wall. I think he didn't want to. He was 3/10 off the time, so it just went to the wall, I guess. It's kind of
everybody on the Inters now retires. Killer V also retired, and he saw no point in.
Alright, let's see Hoopy, and he's actually 1.8 seconds up, so the soft tire is the correct decision.
Yeah, so if you can control it, I think Sector 1 is pretty fine, but Sector 3 looks much more troublesome. So let's see who can bring it home.
As Hardcore retires, I think he crashed, I don't know, it seems like it.
Yeah, it looks like it. Oh, Vexit retires as well, without a lap. Okay, he has some plan.
Okay, Hoopy is now at 1.7 seconds up on his own lap, so he's a lot faster on hot lap on the inner tire, but not position fast enough.
So
it's actually 6.5 seconds. Wait. Never mind. Hoopy can just make the pole. He might get the pole now.
Yeah, there was a purple
Max is still out.
Sector.
So there's actually only Furious, Hooney, Chim Wong on the medium tire. So actually Chim Wong might have taken a good gamble depending on where he can qualify, and then he goes 34.5 and 31.2 on the Furious. Holy man!
That is a decent lap, but in dry conditions this is not even close to great. So let's see what the other guys can do.
But it's still wet, you know.
Yeah, sure, it's hard to judge, but Max also slower, so that was kind of expected. I want to see Jim will probably not be this. There goes Hueni, a bit 1 millisecond faster as Furious.
Holy,
that's impressive.
That's close.
Yeah, Ingenieur also just managed 1:31.7, so that was actually a pretty fantastic lane.
I didn't see where Jim Wong got. If Jim Wong P4, that's perfect.
Yeah, that is fantastic for him.
I guess because he has the medium tires, the race will be dry and there will be no rain, or maybe half the race will be rain, so going medium and then inters, but we have to see.
Yeah. But when he getting pole position by 1 millisecond furious will be
That's
furious.
actually amazing and close. That's just 1 millisecond, come on.
Yeah, that is.
I don't want to hear furious now.
Yeah.
You know what he might be.
Yeah, I just said he might be. He might need a Snickers. So, meanwhile, yeah, Jim actually managed to beat Hoopy and Max. Jim actually being a tier 1 driver and Max a tier 2 and Hoopy a tier 3 driver, so that was kinda expected even with the tire disadvantage, but still props to Jim doing a fantastic lap. He's also a bit more experienced without traction control in ABS. I'm not so sure about the line, but
He doesn't use any assist.
Okay, so yeah, so he is
in any tier.
Yeah, so he is very familiar with situations like this and had the advantage for him going. But that's like exactly the point of this tier, is just to have a bit of fun and to challenge yourself, and it's not really about winning, it is more about...
But do you think that Jim Wong is not... Wait, actually it's a restart? No, it's... okay,
it's
never mind.
formation lap.
Yeah, I wasn't sure. Would you say that Jim Wong, at least my opinion, is for now, if we have a dry race, in the best position to win it? He's in P4 with the medium tire. If he is fast enough to overtake Linginio and maybe Huini, I don't know, like... I know Jim Wong is fast, I never saw those guys race, but if he's faster than them...
Oh, Ingenio is probably faster than him. I saw Ingenio actually racing TRL Limitless a few days ago when he... when Limitless raced in a few open numbers. Well, Limitless crashed him, destroyed him, but not crashed him. Crushed him, that is. But yeah, Vexit as well. It was one of the videos where Limitless actually played on PC. He usually plays on Xbox. So, yeah, and he still won in Silverstone, and they kind of dominated everybody. But yeah, these two guys weren't that far away. So, well, looking back to the EGL events, I think Vexit... Ingenio is pretty close to Vexit, and Vexit
on
is
this formation lap.
Pretty hard to beat as well.
Shimon, I don't know if he made a mistake or something, but he just overtake 3 or 4 cars to get back to P4.
Well, I guess he lost it somewhere.
So, in my opinion, if he can manage to stay close enough, like 1 or 2 seconds, maybe 3 or 4 when he has to pit, or when they are pitting, like the front runners are pitting, P1, P2, or where he might end up, then he should be in the best position to win the race.
He might be in a good one, but maybe not the best, because tire strategy in a full dry race is soft medium. So going on the mediums will just make you go longer.
Yeah, but the thing is, in Silverstone, the tire wear is very, like, there's almost no tire wear. You can really go soft, medium, soft, like what you want.
Yeah, sure, but it is hard to play out the advantage in the end of the race.
Yeah. Alright. As the quit thumbs up now, I have a bad camera angle as usual. Thank you. That's a good one. No, that's a bad one. There we go. As we have 5 lights and it's lights out, the way we go for the way to no assist here after the DMR Racing League. As Huni gets a bad start, Furious is right at him now in P1. Huni is running wide, squeezing a little bit of Linguini. Stays in P2 for now. Linguini goes for a dive there. 3 wide, 4 wide actually into the next turn. Huni can defend it for now. Then we have Linguini still in P3, Chimwong in P4 getting attacked by Toto. Well, meanwhile, he's getting attacked by the McLaren of Danny. In the end, I don't see that we have a crash. It doesn't look like it.
No, so far, so fine. So pretty clean start. I expected a bit of carnage, considering that
Same.
not everybody is
Turn
used
one.
to the conditions. Yeah, but turn 1 is not the hardest braking spot, so that is kind of fine. But like
Yeah, the
turn 3
issue
was
is that
something.
People pretty often and Previous has a
Ooh.
little of mistake. He had a lock arm on the front left and off the track. That's P1 gone for him. He finds himself at the end of the grid now in the last position.
Yes,
Since
Max also
Gary.
loses it and now is also back in position. Gary is just shown on the track. He's
Furious.
actually not taking part, so yeah.
So Heaney. Yeah, sorry to
It's
interrupt
fine,
you.
it's fine.
Yeah, so Heaney gets back into his P1. Chimong now in P3, one thing behind Linguini.
It's
Is
Ingenio.
it Link? It's no wait. What's his name?
Ingenio, not Linguini.
Lingenio. Okay, Lingenio. I got it. Come on, I don't get told, you know, how their name is pronounced, so I just go for what I think it is.
Well, you could be a bit closer.
Linguini. Wait, what was?
Like you mix a Luigi in there, okay, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know.
Tier 1 damage.
As we have a yellow flag in sector 1, did someone spin? Yeah, Hoopy spun and finds himself now in P15.
Yeah. So, Huani actually went a bit over the grass, but and goes wide again. So not losing the car at the moment. So far, so fine. But yeah, he is also really pushing the limits of the track. So Ingenio actually staying really close to him, waiting for the DRS in the next lap, but well within the limits. And Jim also staying within 4/10 of Ingenio. So he is not really losing any advantage. His tires are pretty good at the moment, so I guess he manages to stay close, then he might be actually in a fantastic position, especially if we consider that this actually might include a safety car at some point. He might be in the perfect position.
The good thing about Silverstone is it's pretty easy to follow each other. So as long as you stay in the train, you can easily, you know, stay in the train, like go low ERS and low fuel, get your tire temps down and everything, and still be close, you know, to the car in front of you, just because of the long straights and long fast corners.
Yeah, so that's why it's called a train. It's pretty comfortable to get around with.
Yeah.
So.
But if you lose it, you are like,
you're running behind, and that isn't fun. If anybody has tried running behind the train,
as Danny is pretty close now to Jim Wong, both on the medium tires. He's showing him in the mirror, putting the pressure on till it goes a little bit wide. We might see a attack from Danny on Jim Wong. It's lap 3, so DRS is now active. So that's pretty close too.
It is actually, yeah, true.
As you have the DRS right home, Jim Wong close enough to get the slipstream and the DRS of the car in front. Tudo is actually pushing more Danny than Danny is pushing Jim Wong right now. So if he can make it pass, then he might lose 1 or even 2 positions, as Pretorius is now also coming close to the fight.
Yeah. You know, Vexed ads started from P15, not putting in a lap in the qualifying. He probably wanted a bit of a challenge, and actually now in P7, yeah, Killer B already gets penalty.
Ooh, that
put
was
his nose in. That's what he shouldn't do. He got lucky. Jim is a clean driver. If he went for the apex, there would have been a bad crash.
So they might try to make him on the outside, but then he closes the door. As Fulvius just made a position and is back to P11 now.
Yeah.
Where do you think he might end up?
I think he can get into the points, but I don't think he can get much more. Like Killer B, Vexed, Pretorius, Toto, Danico, Jim Wong, Ingenio, and Tuani. They're pretty fast drivers, and they're not the kind of they're not lacking the pace, so you can get away with a mistake that costs you 20 seconds unless he can get a safety car and get a great pit. But yeah, if it stays clean, then yeah, there's not coming a lot from it. I think maybe a P8 or something from a retirement, but I don't think he can get a podium. That would be pretty fantastic.
And there's the overtake on hardcore, so he's now into the points.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think he can get a podium, but I'm guessing a P6, 7 if there's no safety car.
Yeah,
Depending on his time.
I doubt that as well. Like, he and Killer B are matching pretty hard. Well, maybe he has an advantage in the no assist because he's also a no assist driver in the usual, and Killer B is.
Yeah, that's the question. I'm not too sure how many of those drivers use assist or never use assist.
So as far as I know, Fury is in the top 7
As
at least.
Danny made now the overtake on Chimwong, I missed that a bit.
Yeah, me too, damn.
I saw the gap too late, that it's closing.
It was pretty sick move around the outside, I guess. I actually didn't catch it.
As Wexit is now right into the gearbox of his teammate. Well, he's also on the softer tire. So there might be a team call, team order, or he has to try to get around himself. We will see it now. But Materius is also still very close to Todo, as Todo made a little mistake and went onto the grass. So let's see what attempts here now. Do we have an overtake? Materius has a short lock on the inside, but doesn't go for the move. Actually, does he go for the move? Now on the outside. Into the chicane, side by side. Todo in front for now, but now the inside for Pretorius, but he's too far away. Todo can defend his lead for now.
No, that makes Pretorius vulnerable to Vexit. He has to stay behind him now for the fast part, but after the turn 4, 5 and 6, he can actually, I'd say 3, 4, 5, sorry. He can probably get a better exit if he does it right. Doesn't look like it. Well, actually Gary's on the track. There's a oh no, what is it? Is it Hoopy? Oh, it's Hoopy, okay. The lone racing point.
Oh.
That is Hoopy. I'm sorry. I thought it was Gary because he was quite a bit behind, but Hoopy must have, yeah, he had an incident and he's about 1 minute behind. Close to getting lapped now. That is rough. Rough start for him. Let's see if he can pull back a bit.
So we have a lot of close gaps, but no one seems to be able to close the gap enough to make an overtake.
Yes, the slipstream fast.
It's, yeah. As long as you have someone in front to keep the DS open. Yeah, if he goes for the inside, as I just want to say, as long as you have someone in front of you with the DRS. And now we have a fight here for Pian Huini on the inside. Now has the outside, there's a little bit of contact, but no damage done as it seems. And Huini loses also his position to Danny. And now Jim Wong is also in the position to maybe make an overtake on Huini. Doesn't seem so for now. Danny is now maybe looking for his Huini goes for the inside now. Great move there from him. That was a nice dive from as Todo gets into the rear of Chimwong and he goes off for track for a little bit.
Okay, so no. Toro Rosso.
Todo just rammed a little bit the gearbox of Chimwong and he almost lost it.
Yeah. Didn't get any wing damage. So that's...
As the Mercedes teammates are battling it out, so there are no team orders.
Yeah, Vexit wants to go around the outside and he does so.
Yeah, he has the better grip. He has the better tire.
Yeah.
Well, I don't understand why he got hold up for so long. If I would see my teammate on the softer tire behind me in my gearbox, I would let him pass.
Yeah. Well, maybe that's why we never score points.
True. Danny might actually look for overtake now on Huini. We are on lap 7, so the medium tire seems to be getting faster than the soft tire for now. On the inside, the side by side, but he should have the position, has not the inside again. And
Yeah,
that's job done.
yeah,
We need
great,
now back into P3.
great battle as Jim and Toto also battling it out. Now actually ghosting to... What's going on there? Seems like we have a bit of host issues. I saw in the top two Winnie and
Yeah,
Ingenio at
it's
the pass.
it's
Ooh.
Chewbacca gets almost sandwiched and overtaken by Wexel. And Toto also, there's a little bit of contact. That's harsh racing. That's hard
Oh
racing,
yeah,
actually.
yeah. But fantastic move from Brexit to get the double overtake on the outside.
But
But,
Toto wants his position back.
yeah, but I don't think he
And
can.
Jim Wong loses another position, so Jim Wong is going backwards. He's going in reverse. What is going on with Jim Wong?
Yeah, I just don't think he has the pace at the moment. Like,
But it dropped off, so, like out of nowhere. Look at Hoopy just standing there, letting down. Oh god.
yeah,
Oh
he
man.
has a hard time. When he actually got a 3-second penalty, so considering the train he's in, and actually he has lost DRS to the front runner, so that will hurt him now very much. It will make him vulnerable to Vexit, and he... does he try for a move? Not today, but next time he will surely try to get around him.
So the first one to pit is
Ingenio and Huani actually both
Ingenio.
pit.
Yeah.
That's pretty early, even for the soft tires.
Lap 9? I wouldn't say that.
Well, yeah, you can do like 18 laps
The medium goes very long.
Yeah,
Really long.
yeah, a lot more than the softs, true. But I still would like. I usually I think it is lap 9 to 10, but I would usually go for maybe a bit of overcut, and like I don't know, especially if you're a Huani who has a penalty. I don't think the call is go for the default strategy, because you're not really gaining anything. For the other ones, I'd maybe consider an undercut, but yeah. Well, maybe Huani fancies his chances with an undercut, but then I would have gone in a bit earlier, so actually he gets past a few more cars, and then can maybe get away from the front with a clean air and without the battles, and just keep up his pace and see if he can actually manage to dig out a big lead. It has been possible for other guys. So meanwhile, Vexit now taking over the first position from P15 to P1. Net P3 if you consider the guys in that
There's
have
two
pitted.
goes into the pits now. Next guy to pit.
Yeah. So we have to see.
Yeah, we will see now where Toto comes out and where Huini and Lynchen. I can't. I just can't.
Yeah, Jim now gets a 3-second penalty. Ingenio it is. Ingenio. Well, actually, the N with the apostrophe, I'm not sure how that is pronounced. My Spanish is pretty weak, but yeah.
Okay, let's see as he comes onto the straight. Where is Toto? Toto is still in the pit. He's getting out now, and he's getting past. How far will he fall back? 1.4. So if I'm not wait, what happened to Huini? Did he spin?
Ready?
Huini.
Huini, well, he just
He
pitted.
spun or something.
Yeah,
He was like 2 or 3 seconds behind the name that I shall not say.
That was a good one. So, yeah, he has to have lost it somewhere. Well, Velocity actually got a 5 seconds penalty for speeding in the pit lane, so he has that position in the banks. But if he wants to fight for the podium, he has to actually get past him. So
Vixen went longer. Where will he come out? Did he gain something? Will he be ahead of Toto? Behind him? P1?
I think if he managed to, he had to drive a bit slower there because of the guys in front of him getting past him, and if he managed to, control the
He
pace.
might be P1. Now into the last corner for the Cherino.
Yeah.
And Wexley gets now out onto the pits.
Oh, this gets close.
Oh, they will be fighting. They will be fighting. And he gained. He gained actually time. He gained a lot of time, and he has the fresher tires.
Yeah, yeah.
Wexit might be onto P1
Yeah,
from
also
what was it? P15.
P15 to P1, yeah.
That's
So,
insane.
to be honest, that was kind of expected. He is probably the one of like the fastest driver. He's probably the win of the season one, like the
Yeah, I
season one
don't know
win
him.
of the
So
NA tier. So, yes.
yeah, I don't know him. So
Okay. Yeah, I've seen him in the EGL tournaments, and he has been crushing everybody. Dialmar has sent. So
oh,
that
okay.
wasn't even close.
Okay, good to know, I guess.
Yeah.
I should maybe learn some stuff about our 12S.
Yeah, maybe. Um, yeah, H-Star actually a pretty great league if it comes to pace. Like they have actually fought for the win, I think, in the EGL tournaments. In the last time in the ones they took part, I think they're a bit young, so I'm not sure how many there was. Maybe just one, but yeah. So
Let me go. Now Pits and Dunks Gaming.
yeah.
The last one's to pit now, except for Hoopy.
Jim, of course, and
He
the medium
is.
runners. Gonna be Pretorius and Denico.
Gary is still trying to get off the grid. 10 laps behind now. Having some issues, I guess, with the gas pedal.
True. Yeah,
It's not going good to the racing point.
I think his mechanics are still fixing something in the car as he's still in the pits, but yeah, maybe he
Imagine the game putting him on P1 later.
Yeah.
It's
East
even
was
better.
ready, guys.
Yeah,
So.
yeah. I mean, we have the recording. We know what the real finish would be. But yeah, I mean, I had it in the game already. Like sometimes that I was like P2, P3. I crossed the line, no penalties, nothing. P18. Like
Yeah.
what the fuck?
Yeah.
Or the other way around too. After
Yeah.
in online lobbies where suddenly was on the podium, like what the fuck?
Yep.
He left.
Yep. Yeah. I had that as well. Like I even had career races where I finished P1 and no penalties, and then randomly Gasly or something in the Toro Rosso got put in P1, and I was like, what the fuck?
So a short rundown. Our net P1 is in the moment Wexit, pulling a gap slowly.
Well, I'd actually question that because he's not really closing in on Denico. Denico, on the slower tires, he will go on the softs in a few laps, like maybe around lap 17 or something. And
wait, where are you now?
Denico will go on the soft tires. He's on the medium.
Yeah, I'm not at Denico. I'm looking at Wexit. I know
Yeah,
that the 5 have to pit.
Yeah, but like, look at the gap. It's like 27 seconds. So
yeah.
So that is a full pit stop. So Denico might actually...
It's about 28, 29 and
yeah, okay, but it is really close. And considering Denico hasn't lost that much time in the last 2 laps, it was like half a second or something. He might actually be in P1 in the end.
We could get a Mercedes one too.
We could, but I think we'll see a McLaren on the podium, maybe even in the win. And that's not given.
Actually, nice that you noticed that. I didn't pay too much attention on the gap between the guy that didn't pit yet and the net P1 actually. But yeah, you could be right. Depending, but the thing is, you can't go on the soft tire now. You probably have to go until lap 17, 18, 19 is where you want to pit.
Yeah.
early latest.
Yeah.
And 3 laps, they will be starting to fall off now slowly. So it really depends now on Vexit what his pace is, as he is actually defending against Linktree. We know, man, I can't get his name right.
Yeah, the guy you can't pronounce. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah. I'm so sorry, actually.
Like, call him the Ferrari, because there's no other
Yeah.
Ferrari.
Yeah, I guess so. As the Ferrari gets now by on Vexit into P1, a little bit of action going on again. Oh, it's Preterius actually overtook now Danny.
Damn,
Let's see
I'm
if
no,
he can.
not lucky on the overtakes today. I'm just switching away when an overtake happens. You should stream and I switch away.
Well, okay, sorry, then do. The stage is yours.
No, I'm just like the camera work. That's what I'm referring to. Like I spectated Danico, and then you started picking up the fight on Ingenio and Vexit, and I'm like switching away from them, and actually Pretorius gets past, and I'm like, damn it, not again.
Jim Wong pits now in lap 15. That's pretty early.
That is early, actually. Yeah, that is 11 laps on the softs. You can do it, but it is not fantastic.
Vexit into the Abfahrting now, going side by side into turn 1, staying side by side, just leaving enough room, and Vexit loses out. Is now in P6, might be net P4, I'm not too sure anymore. We will see now.
Yeah, we have to wait until the guys have pitted.
He is 4 seconds behind Vexit. He might be closing in now pretty fast. Oh, Vexit actually gets now ahead of Turtle again, using the DRS on the straight.
Yeah, so Ingenio is 28 seconds behind Pretorius. So I think that puts Pretorius and Danico both in a fantastic position to win this race. Because the guys haven't really closed in significantly. Like, the pace of the mediums have been steady, and like, from what I remember driving Silverstone, the mediums, even after their stint, are pretty fine. You can extend them if you need, but even like if you pit while they're in prime condition, you haven't really lost anything. Yeah, he probably wants to react on Jim Wong's pit stop, but yeah, he also isn't, like, he's 12 seconds behind. He is not really in the fight. He's in the pit, so this delta is probably a bit misleading, but yeah, we have to see how he comes out. But yeah, still 28 seconds. Like, it even increased over the lap now. So yeah.
Yeah, 28 seconds. That's actually, yeah. He's 1 pit stop ahead, and they will be on the faster tire.
Yeah, exactly.
Those guys are pretty fast. Holy moly.
Yeah,
so Jim Wong, you have to admit, Jim Wong did have the right idea. He actually had a good position with P4 to make it work.
Yeah, but because of the spin,
yeah, the pace, and also he got unlucky. I think he spun out 1 or 2 times.
No, I think he didn't, but he just didn't have the pace. He actually kept it clean, apart from the penalty. So, Furious and Tuani actually battling. And Furious at the moment getting the better of it. Oh, there was a bit of contact. So when he loses the rear, actually loses traction on the important part. Ooh, Pretorius now in the pits, getting a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Danico also coming in. So 10 laps on the softs. That is doable, very well doable.
Vexit is looking for overtake, but he's not close enough. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. So we can swap that to interval. Let's see what's going on now. This will be really interesting. The guys are leaving the pit lane already. And while Ingenia comes around and finishes his lap. Oh, this gonna be close.
They will be coming out behind. No, in front.
Pretorius did. Danny loses out big time. He's in P5 now. What the hell has happened to him?
And Rini left the session.
Yeah. Pretorius is now in the front, but really close. And with his 5-second penalty, he can write off the win off his wish list. And probably even a podium. As Ingenio just cruises past. That was a nice move by Ingenio.
Well, his tires are still cold. he needs to get the temps up pretty soon. He shouldn't have a big of a problem to get pass on interval.
Yeah,
As he
actually
gets now
tries it around
floated
the outside now, but
outside. You shouldn't do it there. His teammate right behind him, now going for the overtake on his own teammate. We might go 3 right into the S's, 2 right actually into the S's. But
it's
everyone
just
keeps their position as Toto.
Pretorius gets another penalty, so that is his podium dreams off the
But you never
limits.
know who's gonna get some more penalties. As we have
Yeah.
here a lot of overtakes going on. Pretorius is now in P1. Vexer can defend
Ooh.
against Toto.
And
Or
Jenny
can
actually
he as he go too wide?
bashes his wheel into Pretorius, but
But
luckily nobody loses it.
we have P1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 going too wide here. I don't know what to commentate on.
No, it's just too much action. We can just like try to focus the camera on it and then let you guys deal with it. And we can't anymore. It's too much. Vexit now in P2.
Pretorius is now in P1, Vexer is now in P2. There you have the
And
missing
Jenny
one
has
too.
lost.
Then
Jenny
he
has
gets it
lost big
out
time.
and
Oh shit, he actually crashes out. That is his top's gone, damn it. So
wait, what? Danny has some penalties, I think. Vexit might have one, and is Jim Wong actually now close enough for the P1 again?
So Pretorius has 8 seconds of penalties. Jim himself has quite a bit of penalties. I think it was 6 seconds. There's a penalty on, so it's just 3 seconds from what
Actually,
I can tell.
you know, Commentators, I'm gonna work it out.
Okay, fine. So we're gonna see what the penalty games is coming on. We're actually at the moment it's a Mercedes 1-2, and Vaxit has actually lost. No, he actually hasn't lost, but he was really close to losing DRS on Pretorius, his teammate. So Danico in P3 now really chasing down Vaxit as he wants to play out his tire advantage. That is coming full online now. Jim Wong within 1.5 seconds has to close in a bit now to actually keep with the guys and not lose too much. If he can manage, he might be able to jump a few places with the penalties. Well, we have to see if he can actually stay with these guys. Pass has shown he really can't, but we have to see. Also, his ERS is, apart from Pretorius that wants to get away from the guys, but apart from everybody else, like Danico and Exit have a lot more years than Jim. He has basically none. So, years management not up to his, not in his interest, and also the gap has increased to 1.6 seconds. He is probably not able to stay within.
So the refight might be between Jim and Danny, as both of them have 3 seconds. Toto has 6 and Pretorius has 8 seconds.
Okay, and what about Vexit?
I didn't see. Oh, actually, Vexit has no penalties. I didn't see him.
Okay, so Jim now gets another 3-second penalty, so that makes it interesting.
6.
His chance is pretty rough. Then he tries to go around the outside of Vexit, but Vexit brilliantly defends. Oh shit, who was that? Was it Hoopy? Oh yeah, that was Hoopy. Okay, so nothing major. Then he gets the fantastic switchback, goes around the inside after the first part of the corner, now gets a faster slap, and actually
Jim new penalty, or was that the same?
Yeah, that was a new penalty, just a slap. So
9 seconds.
I think
He got 2. Okay.
Okay,
so,
maybe check that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Chimong is out of the play now. I mean,
yeah, Danico is actually probably said to.
Vexit has no warnings at all. He's completely clean.
Okay, that is pretty impressive. So Vexit, if he can stay with the guys, then he might have a chance. But the guys on the soft tires will battle it out now for the front. They're back in the lead where I predicted them to be. Pretorius started there from the get-go. Then he had to do a bit of fighting, but hasn't lost big time through it. Did actually a pretty fantastic job with his pace. The ERS is in his advantage. He's also in the DRS, so he probably won't fancy a move. Or does he? He puts it in ERS4. And Pretorius can't really defend, he is down to 5%. So Denico will close in and probably get him, and Vexit actually has to fight pretty hard to stay even in DRS. And yeah, so he might actually... How many penalties has Denny? 3 seconds?
3.
Okay, so
3.
Another fastest lap for Denny in the 129s now. That is fantastic. He's doing a great job. Yeah, and he might actually be able to create a gap big enough to
Furious, yes! Get into my prediction, P6-7. Come on, you can do it. Sorry,
Yeah.
I just know this overtake in a nice fight there with Velocity and Furious, as he had a short peak onto P7.
Yeah, I called P7 with the retirements, and Wenny and Ingenio actually...
you called it with the safety car, but not without.
Oh yeah, okay. I added if no retirements happen, so that's actually not true, as Wenny has retired and Ingenio has dropped down with a big mistake that probably doesn't bring him back into the game.
Danny wants really to get past on Pretorius.
Yeah.
To maybe drive out. Yeah, he wants a 3-second gap.
Yeah, but so does Pretorius.
If he gets out of Wexit's DRS, he might be able to get a 3 seconds.
I think he will be able to.
As Velocity gets now past Toto, I didn't catch that. It's a big mistake there from Toto. As he has to defend against Furious through the S's they go. And Furious now is still in P8 while Velocity got into P6. I'm pretty sure. Does Toto have some issues? He seems to go slow. Is he in low? Is he running low on fuel or something?
Who are you talking
to? Toto.
Okay.
He's going so
he's
slow.
running out of ERS.
Oh yeah, that's why. I see it along. Yeah, my telemetry was...
Furious has 70% ERS there. Yeah, and Velocity has about 50, so Toto no chance of fighting back at the moment, and he's also out of DRS, so that is a rough patch for him now.
3-second time penalty.
Yeah, and Danny got past Pretorius. Now he has to show that he actually has the pace with the DRS on the...
But Wexit got closer because of the fight, and now he's in the slitching of his teammate.
Yeah, and right back in the DRS, not even risking losing it. That is way too close.
And it's just four laps left, so this will be hard for Danny as Wexit goes into the QS there.
Yeah, but he's already created half a second of gap. Well, with the DRS now down to 3.5 tenths, but yeah, he might be able to pull it off. We have to see. Even though P2 still pretty great at results.
We missed overtake from Furious on Velocity, so he's in P6 for now.
Yeah.
But I read a lot of penalties for Killer B, Furious, Velocity, Toto, so yeah, they might switch positions a few times, depending on how close they are and how many penalties they have. Killer B should be pretty safe on P5, he didn't have 15 seconds. He had like 6, I think, or maybe 9.
Holy shit, who has 15 seconds? Who has 15 seconds of penalties?
No, he has not. I'm pretty sure he has not.
But who does?
No one, I think. Okay. I didn't sum up all the penalties, just from the front runners. P4.
So we're missing our Doritos.
I don't get that one, sorry.
Okay, you don't remember Doritos last season getting the 15 seconds of penalties?
Oh yeah,
every damn race.
Like 27 seconds or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, or even more. Yeah, exactly. So,
yeah, I forgot about that one. Yeah.
Yeah, that was rough. He actually had a lot of good races that actually got ruined by that. So now the two Haas boys...
Oh, Velocity having a little moment there. Sorry, keep talking.
Yeah, the Haas boys are now actually fighting a bit.
Yeah, I see that.
Quite a bit of everybody else.
Goes for the outside on Danny, too wide. through the last chicane. Then there's a little bit of contact, big contact. Is there damage done? I don't see from the camera angle. His teammate Wexit now on the left goes off to the track, stays behind him for now. As Matthias lets him by, I guess because he has damage and because he has so many time penalties. I'm pretty sure Wexit wanted to get by way earlier, and now he's right into Danny as he went a little bit deep into that turn. So Danny, 3 seconds, while the guy without penalties and without warnings is right behind you. This will be hard.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure because of all that.
The Haas boys are back at it and actually sent each other off track. Dunk's Gaming actually sent Hardcore off track with a not so great overtake.
Do they have a puncture on the where? It's Silverstone.
No, actually not, but yeah, it was yeah, no, that wasn't clean. Dunks closed the door.
To be honest,
nice.
I think they pitted too early for the soft tire. Because all of that defending that Danny had to do, all that tire wear advantage that he had with the soft tire is gone. Like, just look at Wexit. How close he got already. He has now much better grip. Like, the grip should be about equal now.
Yeah.
But it will get worse for Danny, but it won't get much worse for Wexit for the next, like, 5-6 laps.
Yeah,
and there are only 2 laps left.
Danny will be thankful that the race just goes another 2 laps, so he doesn't have to endure his 1 hour soft, but that was calculated. I think it was a good timing to pit. I think they would have lost more positions if they pitted later.
Probably. It was a risky call, of course.
Yeah, but I think it was pretty hard to pull it off to begin with, and yeah, I think...
Wexit goes now for the inside, and Danny pushes it completely to the left to give him a very bad entry into that turn. But the tire advantage that Wexit has, he might be able to pull it out on the outside. Now he can't for now. Still staying very close to him. I didn't see any penalties yet for Wexit on the bottom. So he should be still in P1, but everyone knows you want to win on track, not because of penalties. It just feels so much better.
Yeah.
And I love to see that fight right now. That's great to see.
Everybody does. So let's disable this ugly overlay, nobody needs that. So yeah. So now it comes down to
on the inside, and he just steps past him, goes a little bit
goes for
deep.
The switchback as
no penalty. He might be wanting this. Then he had shot moment there and was almost away and made him spin. But he can keep it on track now on the outside.
Pretorius back in the game.
And yeah, Pretorius actually back in the game, but he has too many penalties.
I think this might be a finish with 3, like a Fort Le Mans finish.
Holy shit, 3 wide through that chicane. What the hell is going on? That's some
These guys are insane. They are battling so hard. Pretorius now.
They really want to make it out on track, and still now Wexit has to get back onto his teammate going side by side. Now I have a great helicopter shot of that.
Yeah, me too. Magically, Danny got the DRS there and the lead, so he actually created a big bit of a gap. Now Wexit goes around the outside of Pretorius.
Just imagine if they would have no penalties.
Yeah, that would be so fucking great. But too bad. So now.
But then he stays in front. It's the last lap.
Yeah.
So he wins it on track. He could defend it.
Well, let's see.
But because of the penalties,
Pretorius
he will
gets another penalty, so. But they're out of the. Oh, actually.
Jim
is not that far off, actually.
Yeah, so my guess, just make my guess fast. Danny, Wexit, Jim Wong, Pretorius, Killer B.
Wexit will win this on penalties. Danica will be second.
Oh yes, no, sorry.
And Jim will be P3.
No, I don't.
It's
Jim
just
has
3 seconds.
He has a lot of penalties too, though. We will see. Wexit wins the penalties. He's actually P3. He's actually
fantastic. That was actually pretty lucky for him. So Killer B P5, Pretorius P4, obviously. pretty unlucky for him, but he had his own demise coming. So
Furious, P6 or P7?
I think that will be
He
a
has a lot of
P6.
penalties. Velocity has also some penalties.
Yeah, true. Let's see.
The gap is quite big,
Yeah,
and
P6
he
for
is.
velocity. Dunks
Yes,
are actually getting
P6.
past Toto. Toto actually.
I predicted it. Woo!
Yeah, congrats.
Thanks.
Toto actually having a really hard time now. He actually fought with the front runners and now not really able to gain anything. So Dunks now
Yeah,
coming in
I
with
mean his
P8.
tires are gone. I think his motivation was just like, oh, you know,
Yeah, probably.
just
So,
finish it.
Max
P8 actually.
actually jumps into the pits and Ingenio as well in P8 now, pushing Dunks out of the points. And Hardcore jumping his teammate as well, getting a bit of revenge for the dirty pass. So Hardcore with the points and Dunks can go home without. So that
The
is rough.
driver of the day, I would say, if there would be no penalties, of course, Danny. But you gotta give it Brexit. No penalties. I'm gonna check now. I think where he went wide after the hanger straight, Corpse, I think it is. I'm not sure.
I think that is just
He
that
might
was
get a
just
warning
so
there.
calculated by him to not put in a lap in qualifying. And he was my favorite to, like, he's my favorite to win the trophy. He's my favorite to win about every race. And so
I have to keep an eye on him.
Yeah, you do. And I personally, I'd say we should give it to Jim because he was the sleeper that actually slot in right in between, catching on.
He has no
Pretorius.
warning. No, wait, actually there's one warning. He got Wexit got one warning. That's it.
Yeah. Also Danny was just a P7 start. That was actually also a pretty great start for him.
I'm gonna give it Wexit. P15, P1, no just one warning. You got
Yeah, but if he had put in a lap, he would have started P5 or something. So that's not really fair.
But still, in this race, he went from P15 to P1, so in my opinion, he won the race, 12 of the day.
Ah, okay. Let's give it to the Ren replacement.
I mean, come on, it's just the first one. We don't have to give it to him every race if he keeps doing that. Jim Wong still had a sloppy race, you gotta be fair. I
think he had a good race. Like, he pushed really hard, sure, but he had to, like, if you consider how big the gap of the guys in front of him to him in the EJL were, that was a lot more interesting. I don't know. We have to see.
Did you ask?
No, I didn't. So,
I'm gonna do it at Wexit.
Okay, meanwhile, I'm just gonna pick up a few posts in the Twitch chat. So, Hagrid,
who was P3? Sorry. Wexit, Danny, Jim. Wait, wait.
So,
it's actually hard, you know, between Jim and Wexit. I understand your point completely, but
okay. I think we'll get a lot other chances to give it to Vexit, but not to Jim. That's that's what I think.
That's true. Alright, we gotta give it Jim, even though he had quite a few penalties.
Okay, but next time if we debate, we'll give it to Vexit.
Okay, and Jim wants to do an interview, Vexit doesn't, then he doesn't. Okay, so at least we can call him then out for 12
okay,
of the
so
day.
let me just pick up a few points in the chats, not much. So Hagrid, that's CinemaScope 21:9. You can stream it if you have a native resolution of 21:9 screen, as Katashi and me both actually have the exact same model. So we actually stream in 21:9, and so that's why Tier 1 and now NA for today will be streamed in 21:9. And Tech Noob, that release of the game mid-season is probably because they have to remodel the cars and have to adjust the drivers and stuff, and you just get the info at the beginning of the season, and then you have to put in some work. So that is that.
Are you done?
Hey Jim.
Can the Jim Bong quit the Jim Wong?
Yes. So Jim Bong, go ahead.
Alright, Jim Wong.
From Jim Wong to Jim Bong.
Invalid can use, sorry.
Do you want me to take
He's
over?
dying. Okay.
Do you want me to...
So, yeah, congrats on the podium. Fantastic race, bro.
Thank you very much.
I'm just gonna make you a bit louder.
Am I kind of quiet?
Okay.
You were. It's fine now.
I'm gonna take over now. I'm sorry.
Okay, fantastic. I did nothing. Go ahead.
You put the gap. So, it seemed qualifying. Tell us about the strategy. I was saying, okay, at first we were like, okay, you can't be going out on the medium. So you
Yeah.
selected them at like minute 7, 10
Yeah.
minutes left. And then I said, just don't go out. Please don't go out. But in the end, I said, okay, maybe 3 minutes left. If the track is dry enough, it could be a great gamble. How sure were you it would work?
Pretty sure the actual intermediate lap I did, not my first couple because they did not go well, but the first actual proper lap that I got in around the 10-minute mark, the track already, there was no rain, it already felt kind of poor, so I knew that it was just about waiting till the very last second to get out there, and I was going to start on the mediums anyway, so I was pretty sure, so I was confident.
Okay, and then the race start, it went really okay, but yeah, there were a bit of context that I think took you kind of out of the race at first until you got back after a pit stop.
Mm-hmm.
And got kind of lucky with the penalties to get back to P3.
Yeah, I think I got a bit lucky to get into P3 with the penalties. I had penalties myself. But yeah, around lap 5 or 6, I got like two people decided to try and go up my inside and outside into turn 3, which was just not helpful at all for my race. I had a bit of contact from the rear for a couple laps. Just not really gentleman-like driving, really. But just the sweaty one. This one, like Britain's just a track where you've just got to stay in the DRS, really. So I don't understand why people want to fight on lap 5. But hey ho, still came home with P3. Pretty happy about that.
Yeah, it was actually turn 3 into turn 4, I think. So
yeah.
That was a rough patch. But yeah, fantastic job. Actually, you had exactly the same amount of penalties as Pretorius, I think, too. So, and he also got the speeding in the pit lane. So it basically came down to who braked a bit better on the pit entry.
I was just so close. I came in as it went green. I was so lucky.
Yeah, perfect. Nailed it. Yeah, sometimes you have to be a bit lucky. That's okay.
But yeah, no, it was a good race. I enjoyed myself. Had a good time. First podium in, no assists, so proving myself slowly.
Yeah.
What do you think about the drivers now after having 2 races? Like, who do you think will be your main rival? Maybe who do you think is gonna win it all?
I mean, the 3 boys up the front were bloody fast today. Was that Danny?
Danny, Petrius, and Wexit.
Yeah, those 3 are bloody fast. I was able to match lap times without the DRS, but obviously they started working together, so there was nothing I could do at that point, and I was using so much ERS. That was the worst thing. I was running on like 0.09 fuel for most of the race and like 20% ERS. It was not great. That's why DRS is so important around here.
Yeah.
Yeah, the slipstream here is pretty much the train that you have to be in. If you get out of it or if you're on front, you will have a hard time to catch up or defend over a longer time period.
Yeah, that's why I let Danny go. I think on lap 4, because I was already losing time to the guys ahead, and I was just using too much ERS, so I wanted to save a bit. But then I guess the rest of the field swamped me.
Yeah, a bit. Yeah. But hey, it worked out in the end. Well,
it
F1 2019 is kind of very well known to be a slipstream fest, so if you lose DRS, you're pretty screwed. Doesn't really matter which track, apart from maybe the very obvious ones like Singapore and Monaco. So.
What do you mean? Monaco is a slipstream fest. Modern Monza.
Can we just go back to the old school one?
Oh yeah, with the bank corners where you
Yeah,
go
yeah.
like 2 laps. Yeah, I
Oh,
got that
please,
back.
no.
Oh please, yes.
Oh, have you ever driven on a
Yes,
banker
I
lap?
have, and also the Corsa.
Okay. Yeah,
In the
that's probably
9060
really
car, in
close
the
to
9060
realistic.
car, it was
Yeah,
very hard to control.
yeah, it was impossible.
Yeah, like
It was.
really the guys back then, for real, they had real boards. Like
No,
no shit.
that's not about balls. That's just retarded at that point. Like, you can be ballsy, but like at that point, it's just holy shit, no, just
Yeah, and the
no.
safety back then,
Yeah,
compared to
like
today.
not putting on the harness, because if you get like the risk of the car catching fire is so much higher
Yeah,
than today,
and
and you would be
also
burned to death if you weren't ejected by the just force. And but yeah, that can also kill you. It was just so fucking
yeah,
retarded. Holy shit.
yeah, even better. Oh, also Chimong, just to finish it about. So you got over 12 of the day.
Oh,
You
do
said
I?
yes,
Yeah,
you did.
Oh,
We had a short discussion, but in the end we decided that you get it because
yeah.
you still had a great race. It was a rough race, but you still came out strong and got back to the podium.
Like
thank you
considering
very much.
considering what the other guys are up to, like usually we can see Hueni and Ingenue up there as well, and they struggle today with losing it and dropping down the grid, as well as Furious struggled their way a bit less, but still, and yeah, so I think you showing that you can actually fight these guys and actually get a podium of these guys that have shown to be a bit faster than you in other
Yeah,
situations, then that is just a show of fantastic effort and consistency and a fantastic race on your side. So I wanted to honor that, and that's why I argued for you. And
thank you very
well,
much.
yeah,
I very much appreciate that, man. Yeah,
yeah.
no, it was a good race. I've been practicing quite a lot. I've been doing like 4 or 5 hours a day, maybe.
Holy
Like,
shit.
Holy, yeah,
yeah, I'm
we could
really trying to
tell.
close that gap.
Yeah, we
Uh,
could tell.
uh,
All right, thank you very much, guys.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no
much
problem.
Love you all. Thank
Yeah.
you. Oh,
Thanks for joining us. So,
Alright. Wait, I just want to add. Also, I don't know if the viewers know, but you can watch a 9060 Italian race on YouTube with the old track. And just imagine, instead of having a pit lane wall between the race track, like the main straight and the pits, no, you have hay walls, like half a meter high. That's it.
yep.
Yes.
And cars blasting with 300 kilometers per hour past. And that was so fucking retarded. Holy shit. Also on the bank lap, like if you think of the like how the forces get applied to the car and the
Welcome to
bad,
F1 podcast.
yeah, and the exactly with Invalid and Jim Bong. And yeah, about what I wanted to say, like the God damn it, what it is called in English, like the springs and the dampers and the whole
Yeah,
suspension setup back in the 60s was so bad that if you went on the banker lap, like you actually had the force applied, so the car would be forced into the suspension. So you basically were riding like you had none, because the suspension was dealing with all the forces applied through the different angle you were taking with the one force of you driving forward and the force
Invalid.
pulling you down. And holy shit, it was just like, imagine driving an F1 car with sticks as your suspension. Like, are you fucking retarded?
I should be closing up here.
Yeah, I think we should. Well, guys, thanks for watching.
We're back tomorrow. Well, not we, but our other commentator.
DMR.
Yeah,
DMR will
is
be back tomorrow.
in Hungary, tier 2, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
And on Wednesday we have the tier 1 race, should be also in Hungary.
Yeah, exactly.
I can't wait to drive this awesome track with a lot of overtaking possibilities.
Oh yeah, yeah. I'm probably. I feel so like if you guys didn't catch it, I gave up my seat in tier 2, and because of time issues. So yeah, I'm really, really in a bad mood now that I'm gonna miss out on that one. Ah, damn it!
You can be my race engineer.
Oh yeah. I'd love to, bro. I have nothing better to do.
Okay, great. We're gonna talk later.
Yeah, exactly. So, guys, I don't want to bother you any further with private talk. So, like if you liked it, dislike if you enjoyed it as well, and like whatever, at least something, I guess. I should probably go back to my old one, like if you disliked it. I love that one. So yeah, subscribe if you want to see more of our action. Probably we stream, or we try to stream everywhere. So we also have a Twitch channel if you didn't catch that. So feel free to join us there. Leave a comment on YouTube, that will be fantastic. And yeah, thank you very much for watching. Good night.
See ya.